quickly before we go into the video, I'm going to showcase a lot of runes over here. Those are not going to be runes of anything on defense. I'll try to showcase the artifacts as well. So I hope you enjoyed that. If you do, please like this video, subscribe to the channel, write some random comments of whatever you want to write. That definitely helps out the YouTube algorithm to pick up my videos to show to more people, and enjoy the video. Robo is the only one I can show from this team because, well, it's the only one that's not rocking on defense. It's max accuracy, that's the important part. It's rocking crit rate, crit damage. Additionals on artifacts. You could actually go for just pure attack on it and just go additional damage by attack. But I kind of like the crit rate, crit damage as well. And then some additionals. Playing against Sacro Club and Cardiac Unity, pretty interesting siege. Starting off, as always, with my main team. In this case, I'll also be showcasing more runes, as you guys been asking for quite some. So we'll be focusing on that. Of course, I can't show all of my runes because, well, a lot of stuff that I use on offense is on defense, and I'm not showing anything defense related. But this offense still wins most of the time. I can't say all the time anymore because it actually did give me a lose before. You saw the video. Normally I have speed, HP, but I had to use the runes for something else, and therefore the best sets that I could do for good enough speed were attack. And weirdly enough, it still has a lot of HP and defense in there, so for that reason I was like, I can get away with it, it's fine. It has additionals of additional damage by attack, HP, and all of that good stuff. Same for this team, this is also still one of my most used teams out there. I changed my Iris here a slight bit to more damage style-ish. That Iris actually was more annoying than mine because it went for a counter and a stun. The odds of that are relatively low, but well, yeah, the odds are there. Silence on that one so it doesn't go into the S2 and then doing some annoying shit. And the monkey is just, it's nice actually for like these specific reasons. What I'm doing here, monkey getting stunned again by the Iris. That Iris, third time monkey stunned by the Iris, not bad, not bad. That's how that enemy Iris is rocking. Another counter on that Iris. That Iris had some good RNG for stunners and counters. That's not really something I like to see. So we have a procer over here. I would assume that my Sienna laps. And the monkey nearly dies, but is pretty tanky actually. That helps out. So yeah, this team does need some rune quality to actually work. I've seen some other people trying to use this team. I think it is still not bad. You have to kind of know where you can use it against and not use it against. But in the end, it can be somewhat tricky to bruiser in this game. Because we all know how RNG can be, right? But yeah, we got a success. Then my Leo team. So the Leo is on a, I think it's defense, crit damage, HP if I'm not mistaken. It's kind of a weird build. It's not maxing out on the resistance, but it's getting pretty close. It's very tanky. It's hard for Savannahs to land any armor breaks on because of the tankiness in the defense. And I like it on Vampire and Will. A lot of people go on Violence. But personally, I feel like I like Vampire a lot more. Like, if things go bad, you torrent some once and you full HP again. So this is my Feng Yang. I've showed it before. 2.6k HP, 21k, or 2.6k defense, 21k HP. And then the additionals are fully on additional damage per defense. Level 1 could be better. It's actually not that great. But it still does a lot of damage. And then Alaya, I think it's a HP defense, HP or something like that. It's a little bit more on the speedy side. 100 res is very important. And then as tank as possible, and in this case, most of the time you use it minus water. And then right side artifacts actually shit, but you just want to go recovery. Then one of those teams we see a lot on defense these days, which is Manon with a Theomars. Something in the middle, could be a Manon, could be a Nora. Pretty interesting. And that's Manon decided to go 4 turns right away at the start, 3 turns, whatever. But yeah, Feng Yang. You have seen my Feng Yang before. It does too much damage. It's just good. But yeah, as you may probably notice, these clips are going to get pretty long because killing this shit, even more than with a Nora. With a Nora, it's, I would say, more dangerous. With a Manon, or not a Manon, with a Molly, it's a lot harder to snipe, but I feel like it's also a lot safer to clear. Just takes more time, especially for this team. Because at some point, well, you see the damage that... The fun thing about this team in general is everything that deals damage is water. So if you just go 3 times minus water artifacts, or at least on the Alaya and the Leo, you're very not likely to die. And Feng Yang can handle a good amount of hits because he's the most tanky unit on the team for sure. So Yeah, this is not hard. It just takes long, so therefore we speed it up. I would say in current meta, having a lot of Feng Yangs is very good. Like, it's definitely the meta of the unfair bear in offense again. I would say Windy is kind of on similar part. Having a lot of Windies is very good in current meta as well, but that's more against Noras. The thing with the Molly in the middle makes it that Nora becomes, or not Nora, Windy becomes less interesting. Whereas normally you always put Windies against these. With Molly in there, you can't really. So is it a nice change of pace? Maybe, but as you can see, that's that Manon went like what 4 or 5 turns on death buff against another death buff, and absolutely nothing is happening to that Alaya. Like, you can hit all you want, man. It takes forever, but you can hit all you want. It just takes forever. And that's how we clear it. Then the next team for the runes, we have the Bolvrik that is still the Rage Shield Will on 100 res. Could be a little bit more tanky, could be slightly slower, but it's fine. My Windy that is double Revenge on a Destroy with also additionals mainly. And then the Seimei, normally I have it 100 res and slower, but for this specific team, since there's no Leo, I put it a little bit faster. It's still pretty freaking tanky. 100 res would have been better, but still okay. It is it is revenge plus despair for the main reason that Seimei skills don't do anything, so fire procking is near to useless. So might as well have a chance to actually destroy anything, or might as well have a chance to despair anything and do it that way. So with that, we can go in, and this is once again one of those that I've mentioned before. If you put Nora in the middle, it is a lot much easier to put Windy in there, because if you use this exact same team against the one with Molly in the middle, I wouldn't recommend it. Also, both Seimei and Windy are bad against it, so definitely wouldn't recommend it twice. So yeah, there we can see that kind of stuff working out. Yay, we got counters and we got despair. So yeah, that's where Seimei just becomes actually a lot more usable than where it's like, oh yeah, I would have Viot or it would have Nemesis. Like Nemesis, I would say, is a decent choice too, because the moment she gets attacked by, she starts healing and she removes an armor break, because armor breaks are always 1 turn on her. But I still kind of like her for doing something extra, and that something extra would actually be closer to, well, despairing and revenging. She does heal a good amount. She has, if I'm not mistaken, a 24 recovery on the skill 3, so that makes her for quite a lot of recovery in general. So anything that is debuffing her is just pretty much going to close to full healer, like 2 3 debuffs, full heal. In this case, I also do like to kind of spread my damage rather than killing one thing like super hard, because in this case, I did notice the Theomars had some procs. If I would have went hard on the Theomars would have probably had his passive back up. So in that case, I was just like, okay, let's split the damage a little bit and destroy the Manon first. The Theomars, sure, if the Theomars armor breaks and the procs 2 more times, it could get kind of tricky, but it is somewhat unlikely to happen, and this is one of those fights I could win like a 2v3 or 2v2 pretty easily as well. So then with the Menorah left over, we are actually getting a decent amount of stunts from that Seimei, which is pretty nice, pretty nice. So at least she's doing something useful. Also, you notice I never use her as 2. You could use her as 2 to get windy skills up, but it's kind of useless, so just as one. Then we have the Leo again, quickly going over the runes if you missed it in the previous one. Still same set, so we go into it again. This is also the exact same defense that we're hitting with it. So I think this one actually went a little bit faster, but since you've already seen this offense exactly like this, let's speed it up a little bit. This is just one of those things. At the moment you're at very high siege, that you can notice that a lot of the same defense pop up. If you actually have a lot of the same copies on offense, you can keep using the same over and over. Like legitimately, if I had 7 Feng Yangs in this siege, I could have used 7 Feng Yangs easily. So yeah, that's just where siege gets slightly bit more boring. This Manon actually did a lot more damage than the previous one. But yep, still easy clear. And that was also the thing. They do a lot more damage, so I do a lot more damage. So we had a Gallion on a fight set, Tiana on my damage set, and then Groganal damage set. Artifacts were, I don't know, for Tiana, mostly go artifacts like crit damage good and crit damage skill 2. For Grogan, in this case, I actually went, I think I have an artifact that had like damage light and damage water. So therefore I did quite some damage on that one. Missed one hit, but that is totally one that is fine to hit. Like the main thing that actually had to die are the 2 units on the right, so totally fine in that. Next hit is a Jin with a Dove and a Lucian. For the ones that want to see the Lucian, well, this Jin was actually just something weird that I have ruined up, like the triple blade. We have an upgrade rate that way. Perfect. This is the Lucian. I have showcased it before, but this is my highest damage, 100% crit rate Lucian. And I think I added like 19% damage on Dark on this one, if I'm not mistaken. Because the main thing that I want to kill is Dark. I'm actually not entirely sure how much damage I did on that thing on the right. 17 Ks, but I think he had reducers as well. So even though there's reducers, I still hit 17 Ks because he also hit 70 Ks on water. And I should have done more damage on Dark with the 19%. So I kind of cancelled out his damage down, I guess. So we have a Dominic, we have a Mo, and then the Lima I can't show because that one is actually on defense. In this case, I had all kinds of extra damage on water. So the moment that I do one hit, that actually lands. For example, this one, we're pretty much already almost done. I think it was like a 19% damage on water. So with that, yeah, the unit is nearly dead already. The Dom is somewhat on the squishy side, which could be an issue if Theomars hard focus it with like a bunch of proccers. Luckily, didn't happen, so we're fine on that. I would have said like a slightly tankier Dom would have maybe been better, but a slightly tankier Dom would have been able to do that, which is also nice. Then the next fight, same Gallion set, same Tiana set, and then a Chung Pong, which I actually have on, I think it's a speed crit rate attack, if I'm not mistaken, or that could be accuracy even. I think it's speed crit rate accuracy. And there's quite a lot of attack on this. Like, sure, we don't have that much crit damage. Crit rate could have been better, but there's, I think for hard effects, I'm not sure. I think I max out the accuracy on the S3. Yeah, I think I do. But yeah, there's quite a lot of attack on it, so then you also add in more additional damage from attack, and the CP actually does a good amount of damage. But in this team, actually the main damage dealer is Tiana. So we do a good amount of damage with that. But as you can see, like 39k on fire with Tiana, that is the real damage dealer. So in this case, we didn't really land at those. We didn't land those. Is this a tricky situation? Didn't land that one, but CP decides to actually proc it. That thing, a good thing, didn't proc it, or didn't proc it, he credited. So with that, yeah, we're still in the Gucci. So this team, I would say, is one of the safer non-LD Tiana Gallion teams that are out there for sure. Because like Poseidon, if you miss, you can be screwed right away. So then for this team is on a lot of attack. I actually do a lot of stuff just for the additionals. So also additionals for attack mainly. I think I might have better artifacts for this. This one is actually pretty funny because this slot 6 on fight is like a 28 speed or 29 speed even. And it's an attack slot 6. So once again on this one, just adding in quite some attack and some additionals, full additionals on these actually. These artifacts are better than Sierra artifacts, I would say. And then Rook is on some crit rate with some additionals from attack and speed as well. And with that, we're kind of good to go. This team can still fail, however, if bombs go real bad. But in most cases, it doesn't really happen like that. So in this case, I was contemplating like, okay, do I still go for an S3 right now? Because, there are some options that I don't have S3 when Sanctuary comes up, or whatever the S3 is from the unit on the right. But I can still stun it because Gianna is Despair, which is actually nice. So with that, Sanctuary did come up, it did proc. The proc is not really any big of an issue. We do have quite a decent amount of S1 damage. That one, of course, resisted because of that. But we have the second bomb up. If we land the second bomb, we're pretty much in the Gucci. We landed that easy. Landed all bombs. So then this team becomes a very, very easy. So yeah, this can be tricky towards how much bombs land. This team used to be a lot better when you had 45% attack bar increase on the oracles. Because I could go with way lower speed, way more additional other stuff. So this team did get quite a big nerf on, yeah, just the S1, like the rotation is being a lot worse right now. So I use it from time to time. Most of the time when I use this team, it's we already won the siege or it's my final hit or anything like that. This is a 10-10, did a few trickier hits, did a few like safe hits. But in the end, worked out pretty well. I showcased the runes, so I hope you enjoyed me showing the runes. If so, If so, please like this video and subscribe to the channel, and I hope to see you in the next one.